I've been dreaming all.
On Julian's wedding day, the servant's house where I was staying suddenly caught fire. Julian, who were always so composed, held the corpse and spat blood. He thought it was me. Meanwhile, I was already on a car leaving this place. At 18, I became Alpha Julian's sex partner. He has sex with me every night. At the age of 20, he was going to mate with someone else. He tacitly allowed Luna bully me, ordered the servant to slap me 30 times. Then he locked me in the cell, starving me for 3 days.
My future Luna will be gentle and virtuous.
He said,
Serve her well, and she won't trouble you.
when I was 8 years old, due to the war, I lost my family and was sold into the Wolf family. I became the only servant for Julian, the Wolf King's only son. He was only 6. His mother was dead. His stepmother Lyra ran the house. Every day, he was hungry and cold. They treated him terribly. He was thin and pale. In just 5 days, I was as thin as him. Later, I couldn't take the hunger anymore. So I stole meat from the kitchen and cooked for him. I was beaten for it many times. But at least we could eat full meals. Slowly, Julian grew healthy under my care. 2 years later, Julian was 8. But he was not allowed to go to school. He was eager to read. So I crawled through the dog hole and climbed the wall. I used my own savings to buy him books. Julian was smart. He read everything. We lived like this for 10 years, depending only on each other. Before that happened, I thought I would go on like this forever.
Liar. The council has reviewed the evidence. You have been stealing from the packed treasury for 11 years.
Julian, I raised you.
You starved the only person who ever cared about me. Take her away.
When I was 18 years old, Julian finally defeated Lyra. He became the unquestioned heir. The day he was named heir, he smiled and asked me,
Daphne, what do you want?
I scratched my head, embarrassed.
Alpha, will you give me anything I ask?
Of course.
I want to break free and leave to get married.
So I asked him for money. Julian was silent for a long time.
Daphne, is there someone you love?
I blushed and
When I
nodded.
was 5 years old, I promised my childhood friend Aldrich that we would get married in the future.
He was silent again. Then he nodded gently.
I will find him for you.
2 days later, Julian told
Aldrich
me,
has married and has children. The couple is very affectionate. He has forgotten the promise he made to you.
I was so sad after hearing that. I cried for a long time. I felt terrible for many days. Later, Julian simply couldn't stand it anymore. He frowned and drank with me. The next morning, I woke up in Julian's bed. I was completely shocked. We ended up having sex after drinking alcohol. In the end, I didn't leave. Julian gave me a lot of money, and I became Julian's sex partner. Julian looked slim in clothes, but had muscles underneath. He was handsome and generous with me. Actually, I was the lucky one. I soon got over losing Aldrich. Time passed. Came to me about 10 days. Today was supposed to be my day off, but he sent word he was coming tonight, for how generous he was. I was annoyed, but I got up. I put on his favorite light-colored dress. I did the light makeup he liked and opened the door to wait. I stood at the door for a long time. Julian finally came. As soon as he entered, he took my hand and led me straight to the bed. He was urgent, different from usual. That night, Julian was especially intense. When it was over, he pulled me close and whispered,
I found my Luna. Next month, I will marry her.
When the Luna comes, don't be as casual as before.
I froze for a moment. This day had finally come. I nodded obediently. Julian sighed and said,
I asked around. Serafina is gentle and virtuous. She'll tolerate you. Don't worry too much. Just behave and serve her well. She won't trouble you.
Early the next morning, the future Luna Serafina came to the estate. They ordered me to serve in the front hall. This was my first time seeing Serafina. Just as Julian said, she was gentle and elegant. She smiled at me sweetly. I thought, as long as she doesn't hurt me, I would serve her well. After greeting her, I served Serafina. Pass her a cup of coffee. But when Serafina took the cup, she suddenly screamed. The cup suddenly fell to the ground. Flying pieces cut my leg. The room was in chaos. I stood there, not knowing what to do. The coffee wasn't hot, I was sure. Her servant rushed over. She slapped me hard across the face.
You bitch! You think because Our Lady is kind, you can treat her like this? Let me tell you, Our Lady may be gentle, but I am not.
Please, it's fine. She didn't mean it.
Serafina quickly said it was fine and pleaded for me. The housekeeper was afraid of offending her. She glared at me and ordered the servant to slap me 30 times. When Julian arrived, my face was already swollen. Blood from my leg soaked my pants. I knelt on the floor. I wanted to explain, but he didn't even look at me. He walked straight to Serafina. Worry was on his face. He asked,
Are you all right?
She didn't mean it. Please forgive her.
Serafina shook her head and gently pleaded for me. This time, Julian finally looked at me. But that cold gaze, I had never seen it before. He said coldly,
Hurting you is this servant's fault. Guards, lock her in the cell. Starve her for 3 days. No one releases her without my permission.
as they dragged me out. I turned my head and looked at Julian, the alpha I'd served for over 10 years. Now he felt like a stranger. I looked at Serafina, in those always gentle eyes. Now, a flicker of triumph. Suddenly, I understood. So the future Luna wasn't as kind as they said. So I was locked in the cell. Julian, always so calm, had rarely been this angry. No one in the estate dared to help me. No one dared to plead for me. When I first came to serve him, I was used to hunger with him. But this time, for some reason, I couldn't bear it. My leg was wounded. My face was swollen. By the next morning, I had a high fever. My whole body ached. I begged the guard to let me see Julian, but he seemed so disappointed in me. He said I needed to learn my lesson. He wouldn't see me. He wouldn't send food. The second night, my fever was high. My mind was fading. In a daze, I dreamed of when I first arrived. The days Julian and I starved together. I dreamed of 6-year-old Julian, his eyes bright. I dreamed of being caught stealing meat, being beaten, lying pale in bed. Julian's eyes were red. He held my hand.
When I grow up, I'll give you a good life. No more suffering.
Evening came. I woke from my dream. The door opened. I whispered without thinking.
Julian, is that you?
But then, a familiar yet strange voice came from the door.
Miss Daphne, it's me.
The one who came was Julian's guard, Aldrich. I had never spoken to Aldrich before. He probably felt sorry for me. When no one was watching at night, he brought me blankets and food. He also gave some ointment for stopping bleeding and reducing swelling. If not for him, perhaps before the day of Julian's wedding, I will already be dead. After that, Aldrich always took care of me in secret. I recovered quickly. After 10 days in the cell, Julian finally calmed down. He had them send me back to my room, then confined me there. Told me to reflect on my mistakes. Of course, I couldn't be idle during confinement. Julian commanded me to pray for the future Luna, to make up for my wrongdoing, until the day before Julian's wedding. He finally agreed to see me. A whole month. I hadn't seen Julian in a month. His eyes held only disappointment and dislike. He felt like a stranger. He still hadn't forgiven me for hurting Serafina. He walked in, face dark, and asked,
Daphne, do you know you were wrong?
I didn't speak. I just looked at his face, thinking. Julian was tired of me. The future Luna wouldn't tolerate me. Staying here meant death. These past days, I'd counted my savings. Over the years, Julian had been generous. He'd given me a lot of silver, enough to live comfortably forever. Seeing me silent, Julian was displeased.
I spoiled you before. That's why you don't know your place.
He wanted my worship back.
The future Luna is gentle and won't hold this against you. If it were anyone else, even Eileen couldn't protect you.
You can't break what's already shattered. A desperate kiss to prove his dominance. But I gave him nothing. Just silence.
If there's a next time, I won't be lenient.
Finally, he shook his head in disappointment.
I won't see you for months. Take care of yourself.
Then he left without looking back. I watched his back, silent for a long time. I realized that I couldn't stay here any longer. The next day was Julian's wedding day. Everyone went to the wedding venue to celebrate, leaving me alone in the manor. Suddenly, the door opened. Aldrich walked in. I picked up my luggage and looked at him.
Aldrich, thank you for everything.
Aldrich's cheeks reddened slightly.
You don't need to thank me.
He whispered. Yes, Aldrich was my childhood friend. We hadn't seen each other for a long time, but now we've met again. He hadn't married, had no children. All these years he'd been looking for me. When he found out where I was, he joined the estate as a guard. But by then, I was already Julian's sex partner. He never told me who he was, just stayed close, watching over me. Until the other day, when I was dying in that cell, he cared for me day and night. That's when I found out. He was the boy I had been looking for since I lost him. Aldrich said if I wanted, he would take me away. So we planned to leave together today. I climbed over the wall. Aldrich followed, leaping over easily. I took one last look at the estate. Then I climbed into the car Aldrich had prepared and whispered,
Let's go.
The car gradually disappeared into the distance. I thought, Julian loved his future Luna so much. They would surely be happy together. As for me, the unwanted sex partner, he would forget me soon, right?